I effed up by eating really fast and being mistaken for a convict. I recently just got out of the US Marine Corps and moved to Australia to live near my family while I complete a degree. I was out in town meeting with some potential employers and had been busy all morning and afternoon, so I found myself getting a real late lunch at this small Japanese joint that was pretty busy. Being ex-infantry, old habits tend to die hard. Within 2 minutes of teriyaki chicken and rice being delivered to my table, I've completely demolished the entire plate with barely a grain of rice left in the bowl. I wolfed it down, and I guess I was slightly hunched over it the whole time because I was starving. Some larger, heavily tattooed biker-type looking gentleman noticed that impressive teriyaki turbo demolition, and also noticed I was built somewhat well and had a tatted up left arm myself. He came up to me and asked immediately, "How long have you been out?" Now military dudes can easily recognize other military dudes even if they're dressed normal. I was wearing just a t-shirt and jeans. So I thought that was what he was referring to. "I just got out," is more or less what I told him, thinking that's what he meant. Hakea or Datros. I couldn't remember the name of the other West Australian prison he mentioned, but my dumbass just assumed those were Australian Army bases. "Nah, Camp Lejeune in the States," I told him. At that point his eyes opened wide and he was telling me that I was hard shit, which is what began to confuse me because as far I was concerned Lejeune was nothing special. Just a big multi-purpose base. I was initially like, huh, and he clarified it was because I was in America. He hadn't used the words jail or prison to any extent in the conversation yet. And he even sat down to chat with me. We kinda had some small talk about how the transition is hard and so is readjusting your habits and language to be society friendly, and sure enough he finally asks what I was in for. Assuming he meant my MOS, I just went, "Oh, infantry. What, kids?" We kind of just looked at each other after that, me confused at the stupidity, him in disgust. I clarified that's what they called grunts. And then it finally came up that he was talking about what I was in jail for, to which I answered I'd never been, and we both had a bit of an awkward oh shit moment and laughed it off like dumbasses. We both apologized for being stupid and then went our separate ways.